Hi, it's me again, wanting to spend a few minutes with you talking about my most current article on medium.com through the publication Illumination. And it is about a book that I felt was a game changer for me. My name is Michele, board certified health and wellness coach with an additional certification in functional medicine. And this book that I read was back in 2015, though it was originally published in 1997, The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And it's a very small book, very powerful book. And it almost talks about what you would think would be like the golden rules. Remember those books when we were kids? And what we really should have learned while we were in school. The 4 agreements seem kind of common sense. And though they may be simple, they may or may not be really that easy to follow, but beneficial when you do. As it says here, it's a personal guide, or it's a practical guide to personal freedom. And that's really what this is all about. And during these times that we are in, where things seem so out of control, the only thing we do have control over is ourselves and how we react or respond to things. And this book can help with that. So the first agreement is to always be impeccable with your word. Think about that. Words have power and a lot of meaning to it. And sometimes we flippantly say things to people, not realizing the damage that we could be doing. And in here, he gives examples not only about gossiping, but also about how we speak to children, our own, for example, or how we were spoken to when we were children, and how all of that really makes a model for our view of the world, all by the age of 8 years old. And of course, science talks about this. Bruce Lipton talks about the child brain and how it turns into later in life the limiting beliefs that we still carry. So be impeccable with your word. The second agreement is don't take anything personally. And that isn't always easy to do because we live in a world where we kind of look to be offended. You know, we look to who's saying this or who's saying that about me. And really, I once heard it said, not in this book, but somewhere else, that I think it was Wayne Dyer, what somebody says about me is really none of my business. And following that model of not taking things personally can really make a difference in how we react. You know, somebody who might be treating you rudely is really somebody who's hurting themselves and going through something, and they end up just venting things to you. Or they might be pointing the finger at you, right? And calling you a name. But I've heard this, and I love this. There are 3 fingers pointing back at themselves. The next one is don't make assumptions. And we also live in a world where we don't have the courage, as it's put in this book, to question things or even share what our needs are. So we just assume. I assume you should know me by now, and that, you know, this is how I want things, or this, I would never have done that. And really, it's all about communicating with each other and not making those assumptions, but taking the time to listen and also taking the time to let someone know what you're looking for as well. So better communication. The last one is to always do your best. And if you follow these others, you know, then you really are on the road to doing your best. And you would think, well, don't we all look to do our best? But there's a lot of people out there that really don't care. Hope you're not one of them, right? So can you, in doing your best, even accept yourself more? This is a journey that we're on. It isn't a one and done. It wasn't like, oh, I read this book and now I've got this and I'm flying. It's a daily practice. And when you find yourself slipping on one of these, it's great to bring in the mindful awareness to then say, look what happened. What could I have done or said differently? So, in these times, like I said, this could bring us a little more peace and help us tap into our inner power by taking control of what we can ourselves. More in the article. I hope you'll check out the link. And I want to thank you for spending a few minutes with me. Until next